Very good afternoon to all. Am I audible? Can anyone reply? Am I audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay, so just wait a minute. I will share the screen. Okay, so in the last lecture, we have stopped here. That is the multiplexing methods. The third multiplexing method, whose name is the time division multiplexing. We have seen the definition of multiplexing. The multiplexing is required in which when the available bandwidth of the link is greater than the individual bandwidth of the devices, greater than the sum of individual bandwidth of the devices, then we can perform the multiplexing. Okay, so we can say that multiplexing is the set of technique that allows the simultaneous transmission of multiple signals across a single data link. Okay, so using this multiplexing technique, at a time multiple devices can send the data, and this data are sent to the method that is the multiplexing. Okay, so how it is going to be work? So we can say that our link is divided into the various channels, and on each and every link we can send a different data. So to perform that things, we require the multiplexer and demultiplexer. So multiplexing can be of three types. It can be FDM, that is the frequency division multiplexing. It can be WDM, that is the wavelength division multiplexing. It is the TDM, that is the time division multiplexing. We have seen the FDM technique, in which your link is divided into the various channels where each channel has the different frequencies. Okay, so we can say that our link is divided based on the frequencies. Okay, and to separate the various channels, we are using the guard bands. So guard bands are nothing but, we can say, some set of frequencies that are used to prevent the signals interference, or we can say to prevent the signals from overlapping. So here the figure of frequency division multiplexing, in which we have the three channels, and these are divided based on the frequencies. Okay, so FDM is basically used for the analog signals, and it can combine the various analog signals. Here is the working of multiplexer. The multiplexer consists of the modulator. Then the modulator will perform the modulation of these modulating signals. We are using different carrier frequencies for each modulator. So we are generated the modulated signals, they are combined, and finally they are sent to the channel, or we can say they are sent to the link. Same way at the demultiplexing, at the receiving side we are using the demultiplexing, in which we are using the filter to filter out the various frequencies. These frequencies are provided into the demodulator, and based on the demodulator we can separate our carrier signal with the modulating signal, and finally we are getting our baseband analog signal. We have seen this example that if you have the range of 20 to 32 kilohertz bandwidth, then we can divide it into the three bands, three channels, where 20 to 24 first channel, 24 to 28 second channel, 28 to 32 third channels. And finally at the receiving side we have the filter. That filter can separate out the all three frequencies. Then this example we have seen that if you have the five channels each with the 100 kilohertz, then the total bandwidth requirement is the 500 kilohertz, plus we require the four guard band of 10 kilohertz. We can see here that four guard band of 10 kilohertz. So total bandwidth requirement is the 540 kilohertz. If you want to implement the FDM with five channels each with 100 kilohertz and the 10 kilohertz guard band, then we require the 540 kilohertz total bandwidth. Okay, so like in our cellular phone, that the 25 megahertz is allocated for the sending and 25 megahertz is allocated for the receiving, and for each user we say that the 30 kilohertz is allocated. So by performing this calculation, we have found that For sending, we have a total channel possibles are 832, in which the 42 channels are used for the controlling. That's why the 790 channels are used for the sending. So at a time, 790 channels can be used for the sending purpose, and plus the same 79 channels can be used for the receiving purpose. Then we have seen the WDM, that is the wavelength division multiplexing. So it's same as the FDM, but it is used for the higher frequency analog signals. Okay, so the application of this WDM is in the fiber optic cables. So in the fiber optic cable, we have the concept of the prism that can combine the various optical signals, and same way at the receiving side, we have the prism that can separate out the various frequency. So this is the concept of WDM. Okay, and we have started with the TDM, that is the time division multiplexing. So in case of the WDM and WDM, in case of the FDM and WDM, the frequencies are separated, while in case of the time division, we are dividing our channel based on the time. So rather than, instead of setting a portion of the bandwidth, here we are setting the time. Okay, so how it is going to be work? So we can see here that your link is divided into various time slot, and each time slot is allocated to one of the devices. Okay, so first one will use first slot, then second will use, third will use, fourth will use. Then after, again starting from the beginning, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, like that. This is known as the time division multiplexing, that our channel or our link is divided into various time units, and each time unit is allocated to particular devices. Okay, so TDM is majorly used for the digital signals. Okay, and the advantage of this TDM is it can combine the several low rate channels into one high rate one. Okay, so there are two types of TDM, that is the synchronous TDM, and second one is the statistical TDM. So how this synchronous TDM is going to be work? So we can see here that our input channel is divided into the three time units. Okay, so for example, let's say this multiplexer is getting the data from the three different devices. So we can divide this input data into the three different time units, like A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, and C1, C2, C3. A1, B1, and C1, that is allocated to one time unit, A2, B2, C2, second time unit, and A3, B3, C3, that is to third time unit. Now what happened at the receiving side? So in the output side, what we are doing, we are creating the frame. We are creating the frame, and each frame consists of the one data unit from the input data channel. Okay, so we have the three channels. Okay, the first one, A, B, and C. Okay, so this frame consists of the time unit from A, time unit from B, and time unit from C. Okay, so અહીંયા આપણી ત્રણ ચેનલ છે, so that's why in the frame આપણે ખાલી include કરવા પડશે A1, B1 અને C1. Suppose આપણી ચાર ચેનલ હોય, so at that time frame માં આપણે include કરવા પડે total 4 time unit ને. Okay, so here આ frame 1 માં આપણે include કરી છે ત્રણ time unit, that is the A1, B1 and C1. Okay, and the duration of this individual time unit is T/3. Okay, so if the input time duration is T, okay, so then we can say the output time duration is T/3. Okay, so here the number of channels are 3, so that's why the output slot, or we can say the output time duration is T/3. Okay, જો અહીંયા આપણી જો 4 ચેનલ હોતે, then our frame, or we can say the output slot, or we can say output frame duration is T/4. Okay, so by that way, T/3 plus T/3 plus T/3, so that's why the frame duration, the duration of whole frame is T. Okay, so but individual output slot duration, okay, here we can say that input slot duration is T, but output slot duration is T/3. So T/3 plus T/3 plus T/3, so the frame duration is our T. Same way for the frame 2, T/3, T/3 and T/3, so frame 2 duration is also T. So T plus T plus T, like that. Okay, so we can say that here the each frame is 3 time slot. and the each time slot duration is t by 3 seconds. Okay, so let's say take one example. Let's say in this previous figure, the data rate for each input connection is 1 kbps. Okay, so each input connection is 1 kbps. So we have the three connection. અત્યારે આપણી પાસે ત્રણ ઇનપુટ કનેક્શન છે, એના પર આપણો ડેટા રેટ કેટલો છે તો 1 kbps. પહેલી ચેનલનો 1 kbps, બીજી ચેનલનો 1 kbps અને ત્રીજી ચેનલનો 1 kbps. Okay, so we have seen that the advantage of this TDM is it can increase the output data rate. Okay, આપણો ઇનપુટ ડેટા રેટ છે આપણો 1 kbps, but આપણો આઉટપુટ ડેટા રેટ 1 kbps કરતા વધવો જોઈએ, then TDM is useful. Okay, so આ કઈ રીતે ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ થયું? So we can say that our input data rate is 1 kbps. પહેલી ચેનલનો પણ 1 kbps છે, બીજી ચેનલનો પણ 1 kbps છે અને ત્રીજી ચેનલનો પણ 1 kbps છે. Okay, so now we can divide our input channel into the various time slot. Okay, so 1 kbps છે, so that's why we can say that 1 સેકન્ડમાં આપણા 1000 kb ડેટા ટ્રાન્સફર થાય છે. In the 1 second we are transmitting the 1000 bits. Okay, so that is the 1 kb data. 1 second માં આપણો 1000 bits નો data transfer થાય છે. Okay, so we can say that in the bit duration, that means the duration in which the one bit is available on the link, that is known as the bit duration. Okay, એક bit ને allocate થવા માટે કેટલો time લાગે, that is known as the bit duration. Okay, so અહીંયા we can see that our input connection, the data rate is 1 kbps. That means 1 સેકન્ડમાં આપણે 1000 bit નો data transfer કરીએ છીએ. Okay, so 1 સેકન્ડમાં આપણા 1000 bit transfer થાય છે, તો we can say that એક bit માટે આપણો કેટલો time જોઈશે, તો 1 divided by 1000 second. So that is, we can say that 10⁻³ second, or we can say that 1 millisecond. Okay, 1 second, that means 1000 બીટ માટે જો આપણને 1 સેકન્ડ લાગતી હોય, ઓકે 1000 બીટ ટ્રાન્સફર કરવા માટે જો આપણને 1 સેકન્ડ લાગતી હોય, તો 1 બીટ ટ્રાન્સફર કરવા માટે આપણને કેટલો ટાઈમ લાગે? So we can say that 1 divided by 1000 second, or we can say that 10⁻³ second or 1 millisecond. Okay, 1000 બીટને ટ્રાન્સફર કરવા માટે આપણને 1 સેકન્ડ લાગે છે, તો 1 બીટને ટ્રાન્સફર કરવા માટે કેટલો ટાઈમ લાગે? So we can say that 1/1000, that is the 1 millisecond. So અહીંયા આપણો A1 નો પણ કેટલો ટાઈમ છે? 1 millisecond, B1 નો 1 millisecond, C1 નો પણ 1 millisecond. Okay, so this is the bit duration for 1 bit. Okay, so input slot, the input slot duration means duration of 1 bit. Okay, so આ A1 B1 શું છે? A1 B1 C1 છે 1 bit duration. એક બીટ માટે કેટલો ટાઈમ લાગશે? That is the A1 B1 C1, A2 B2 C2 અને A3 B3 C3. Okay, so we have found that 1000 બીટ માટે આપણને 1 સેકન્ડ જોઈએ, તો 1 બીટ માટે આપણને 1 મિલિસેકન્ડ જોઈએ. So input slot duration is, we can say that 1 millisecond, 1 millisecond, 1 millisecond. Okay, એ જ રીતે 1 millisecond, 1 millisecond, 1 millisecond. Okay, so આ બધા input time duration કેટલો થશે આપણો? 1 millisecond. That is the answer of our first question, that what is the duration of each input slot. Okay, suppose આપણી સ્પીડ છે 1 kbps, તો આપણું ઇનપુટ સ્લોટ ડ્યુરેશન થશે આપણું 1 મિલિસેકન્ડ. ઓકે, સપોઝ તમને એમ કીધું છે કે તમારી સ્પીડ છે, ઇનપુટ કનેક્શનની સ્પીડ છે 1 mbps. ધેટ મીન્સ કે 10⁶ bits, 10⁶ બીટ આપણા 1 સેકન્ડમાં ટ્રાન્સફર થાય છે. ઓકે, તો એક બીટ માટે આપણને કેટલો ટાઈમ જોઈએ? So we can say that the answer is 1 microsecond. Okay, so 1 mbps હશે, then your input slot duration is 1 microsecond. Here 1 kbps છે, so that's why the input slot duration is 1 millisecond. So 1 millisecond, 1 so the duration of each input slot is 1 millisecond. Okay, now receiver બાજુ આપણે શું કરીએ છીએ? receiver બાજુ આપણે frame create કરીએ છીએ. This first frame consists of the 3 input slot. Okay, so we can say that A1, B1 અને C1. Okay, તો T ટાઈમ ની અંદર A1 નો અમુક પોર્શન લે છે, B1 નો અમુક પોર્શન લે છે અને C1 નો અમુક પોર્શન લે છે. ઓકે, તો કેટલા ટાઈમ માટે? So we can say here that A1 is available here for t by 3 second. Okay. B1 is also available for t by 3 second, and C1 is also available for t by 3 second. Okay. So here t, what is the value of t? The value of t is 1 millisecond. So that's why we can say that the duration of this output slot, that is, we can say that 1 by 3 millisecond. So t ની value કેટલી છે આપણી 1 millisecond. So t by 3 मतलब 1 by 3 millisecond. So A1 ની પણ 1 by 3 millisecond, B1 ની પણ 1 by 3 millisecond, C1 ની પણ 1 by 3 millisecond. ટોટલ ડ્યુરેશન કેટલું થયું ફ્રેમનું આપણું 1 millisecond. સેમ વે A2 ની 1 by 3, B2 ની 1 by 3, C2 ની 1 by 3, ટોટલ આપણી 1 millisecond. Okay, so total જે આપણો ઇનપુટ ટાઈમ સ્લોટ છે that is divided into the 3 different time slot, અને ત્રણનું ડ્યુરેશન કેટલું થાય આપણું 1 by 3, 1 by 3 અને 1 by 3. So the answer of the second question, that is duration of each output slot, is 1 by 3 millisecond. And the duration of each frame is same as the duration of the input time slot. તે આપણે જોઈ શકીએ અહીંયા કે અહીંયા input time slot નો duration t છે, તો આપણી frame નો duration પર કેટલો થશે t. Okay, or બીજી રીતે જોઈએ તો આપણે t by 3 plus t by 3 plus t by 3, that is also t. Okay, so frame નું કેટલું duration થાય આપણું 1 millisecond. Okay, so we can see here the answer that the data rate of each input connection is 1 kbps. That means the bit duration is 1 upon 1000 second, or we can say 1 millisecond. The duration of the input slot is 1 millisecond. Okay, so આ બધાનો આ થયો આપણો 1 millisecond. Duration of each output time slot is 1/3 of the input time slot. This means that the duration of the output time slot is 1 by 3 millisecond. Okay. So here we can say that the duration of this output time slot is 1 by 3 millisecond. Okay. Then each frame carries 3 output time slot. So the duration of a frame is 3 cross 1 by 3 millisecond, or we can say that 1 millisecond. Okay. So here the individual bit rate is, we can say 1 kbps, 1 kbps, 1 kbps. Okay, so 1 second માં અહીંયા આપડા કેટલા bit transfer થાય છે? So we can say that at the time only one data is taken, then the input bit rate is 1 kbps. Okay, but here at the time we are sending the 3 frames. Okay, so we can say that આપણો આ જે data હતો, that means at the time we are taking the data from A1 B1 C1, same way we are taking data A2 B2 C2 and A3 B3 C3. So at that time we can have a T plus T plus T. So that's why we can say that the output data rate, or output data rate, is 3 times the input data rate. Okay, so here the input data rate is 1 kbps, so we can say that our output data rate is 3 kbps. Okay, પહેલા 1 સેકન્ડમાં આપડા 1000 બીટ ટ્રાન્સમિટ થતા હતા. Okay, but by applying this TDM we can say that in the 1 second now we can transfer the 3 kbps, that means the 3000 bits data. Okay, so also we can apply this thing like our bit duration here is 1 millisecond. Okay, so 1 millisecond, so that means given the bit duration, if you want to find out the data rate, then what you can do? So after 1 millisecond, so you need to we can say the data rate is inverse of the bit duration. So 1 upon 1 millisecond, so we can say that that is the 1 kbps. Okay, so here we have the bit duration is 1 by 3 milliseconds. So we can say that the output data rate is 1 upon output bit duration. So 1 upon 1 by 3, 1 upon 1 by 3, so 3 will go up. So we can say that our output data rate is 3 kbps. Okay, so advantage of this TDM is we can increase the output data rate. Okay, જો પહેલા આપણું 1 kbps ની સ્પીડ મળતી હતી, now using this TDM we can get a speed up to 3 kbps. Let's take the another example. We have the synchronous TDM with a data stream for each input and one data stream for the output. Okay, the unit of data is 1 bit. Okay. Find the input bit duration. Okay, the output bit duration and the output bit rate and the output frame rate. Okay, so here we can see that the connection of each input connection is the data rate of each input connection is 1 Mbps. Okay, so પહેલા કનેક્શન માટે 1 Mbps છે, બીજા માટે 1 Mbps, ત્રીજા માટે 1 Mbps, ચોથા માટે 1 Mbps. That means we can say that એક સેકન્ડમાં આપણા 1 મિલિયન બીટ આપણા ટ્રાન્સફર થાય છે. The meaning of 1 Mbps is એક સેકન્ડમાં આપણા 1 મિલિયન બીટ ટ્રાન્સફર થાય છે. That means 1 મિલિયન બીટને ટ્રાન્સફર કરવા માટે આપણને 1 સેકન્ડ લાગે. કે રિવર્સમાં બોલીએ આપણે તો 1 મિલિયન બીટને ટ્રાન્સફર કરવા માટે આપણને 1 સેકન્ડ લાગે. તો એક બીટને ટ્રાન્સફર કરવા માટે આપણને કેટલી સેકન્ડ લાગે? So we can say that 1 microsecond. Okay, 1 upon 10 raised to 6. So 10 raised to minus 6 second, or we can say that 1 microsecond. Okay, so we can see here that the input bit duration, જો આ બધા ઇનપુટ માટે આપણો bit duration કેટલો થશે? આપણો 1 microsecond. That is 1 upon 10 raised to 6 second, or we can say that 1 microsecond. So આ પણ 1 microsecond. Okay, આ પણ 1 microsecond, 1 microsecond, 1 microsecond. Now the output bit duration. Okay, so here you can see that we have the 4 input connection. પહેલા 3 હતા, but અહીંયા 4 input connection છે. તો આપણી frame કેટલા સ્લોટ ની બનશે? તો આપણા frame બનશે આપણી 4 ટાઈમ સ્લોટ ની. ઓકે, એક પહેલા સ્લોટ નો ડેટા આવશે, બીજામાં બીજાનો, ત્રીજો અને ચોથો. એ રીતે frame is containing the data from 4 input time slot. Okay, so here we can say that 1010 1010, that is our first frame. Second frame is 1000 1000, that is our second frame. પાછળથી જોવાનું. Okay, third one is 1011. So 1011 is our third frame. ચોથી કઈ છે આપણી? તો 1000, that is our fourth frame. અને પાંચમી છે આપણી 1010, that is our fifth frame. Okay, so by that way total કેટલી frame create થશે? So આપણા 1 Mbps, that means total 10 million frames are going to be created. Okay. So our output bit duration is how much? So we can see here that if our input time slot is t, okay, then the output time slot is t by 3 seconds if we have the 3 connection. Okay, but here we have the 4 connection, so we can say that the output time slot is 1 by 4 second, or 1 by 4 microsecond. Okay, so 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4, 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4, total is 1 microsecond. Okay. Same way for the second, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4. Okay, so the output bit duration is 1 by 4 microsecond. Okay, third question is the output bit rate. Okay. So input or output bit duration, or we can say the output bit rate is inverse of the output bit duration. Okay, so our output bit duration is 1 by 4 microsecond, so we can say that our output bit rate is 4 Mbps. Okay, so 1 upon output bit duration, so 1 upon 1 by 4, so that is the 4 Mbps. Okay, 4 Mbps. And the output frame rate is same as our input frame rate, that is we can say that the 10 million frames per second, or we can say that 1 Mbps. Okay. Not Mbps, but 10,000 frames per second. Okay. So the input bit duration is the inverse of the bit rate. Okay. So 1 Mbps ને inverse કરીએ તો આપણને input bit duration મળે, that is our 1 microsecond. The output bit duration is 1/4 of the input bit duration, so we can say that 1 by 4 microsecond. The output bit rate is the inverse of the output bit duration, so 1 upon 4 microsecond, or we can say that that is our 4 Mbps. Okay, so the output bit rate is the inverse of the output bit duration, so 1 upon there one mistake is there, 1 upon 1 by 4 microsecond. So 1 upon this output bit duration, so 1 upon 1 by 4 microsecond, so we can say this one is the 4 Mbps. Or it can also be deduced from the fact that the output rate is 4 times the faster of the input rate. Okay, so આપણે અહીં 4 ચેનલ છે, તો આઉટપુટ બીટ રેટ ઇનપુટ બીટ રેટ કરતા 4 ગણો થઈ જશે આપણો. So output bit rate is our 4 cross 1 Mbps, or we can say that 4 Mbps. And the frame rate is always the same as any input rate. So the frame rate is 1000, or we can say the 10 million frames per second. Okay, so this is our frame rate. So 1 second માં આપણે 10,000 frames મોકલી શકીએ if we are following the such type of TDM techniques. Okay, so this is all about the TDM. In the TDM, we are dividing our channel based on the various time units. And the advantage of this TDM is we can increase our data rate multiplied by the number of channels. Okay, so here we have the data rate of 1 Mbps, so we can increase our data rate to 4 Mbps. Okay, પહેલામાં આપણી હતી 3 channel, so we can increase our data rate up to 3 kbps. Okay, આમાં 4 channel છે, so we can increase our data rate to 4 Mbps. These are the advantages of TDM. Okay. So in synchronous TDM, the data rate of the link is n times faster and the unit duration is n times shorter. Okay, so the advantage of this TDM is using this TDM technique, we can increase the data rate n times. So n is the number of channels, and the bit duration is, we can say, or bit duration is n times shorter. Okay, so અહીંયા આપણું input bit duration હતું 1 microsecond, તો output duration હશે આપણું 1/4 microsecond. Data rate તો આપણો 1 Mbps, તો હવે થઈ જશે અહીંયા output માં 4 Mbps. 4 kbps, 1 kbps connections are multiplexed together. A unit is 1 bit. Find the duration of 1 bit before multiplexing, the transmission rate of the link, duration of a time slot, and the duration of a frame. Okay, so duration of 1 bit before multiplexing. So we can say our input duration, input time slot duration. So inverse of our input data rate. 1 kbps to inverse કેટલું થાય આપણું? So we can say that 0.001 second or 1 millisecond. The transmission rate of the link, that is 4 times the input data rate. So input data rate છે આપણો 1 kbps, તો output data rate થશે આપણો 4 kbps. The duration of a time slot. Okay, the duration of a output time slot. So input time slot હતો આપણો 4 millisecond. આપણી 4 channel છે, તો 4 channel છે, that means 4 connection છે, તો 1/4 millisecond. The output time duration is 1/4 millisecond. The duration of a frame, the duration of a frame is same as the duration of the input time slot, that is the 1 millisecond. Okay. Now, one problem in synchronous TDM, as we have seen that TDM can be of two types, that is synchronous TDM and statistical TDM. Okay. Now, there is one problem with the synchronous TDM. There is one problem with the synchronous TDM. The problem is sometimes this input time slot can be empty. Okay. For example, suppose આપણે 4 device માંથી data accept કરતા છે. Okay. So every time it is not possible કે 4 device એક સાથે data transmit કરે. Okay. Here we can say that જે પહેલું connection માં the all 3 slots are filled. બીજું device અત્યારે કઈ નથી transmit કરતું, તો એના બધા time slot empty રહેશે. Okay. Now ત્રીજા માટે પહેલો અને ત્રીજો slot ભરેલો છે, વચ્ચેનો empty છે. Okay. ચોથા માટે all are filled. Okay. Now if we are following the synchronous TDM, then what we have to do? We have to include the each input time slot in the one frame. So પહેલી frame માં આપણે 4 input slot ને include કરીએ, so we have this first green one, then second one is empty. Okay, બીજું empty રહેશે, then third one is there, fourth one is there. Okay, second માં પહેલું આવશે, બીજું ને ત્રીજું empty રહેશે. Okay, ચોથું આપણું fill આવશે. Okay, same way ત્રીજી frame માટે પહેલા time slot માં છે, બીજું empty છે, ત્રીજું ચોથું ભરેલું છે. Okay, so this is the problem with this synchronous TDM. Okay, if some of the devices are not sending during this process, okay, so we can say that this slot will create a empty output time slot in the frame. Empty output time slot in the frame. Okay, so આપણો એક નેટવર્કનો ક્રાઇટેરિયા છે કે no way our bandwidth should be wasted. આપણી bandwidth કોઈ બી જગ્યાએ waste નહીં થવી જોઈએ. Okay? So there is no need to allocate this empty time slot. કે આ empty time slot માટે આપણે time આપવાની જરૂર નથી. ઓકે, આપણે ભલે આપણે ઓછો ટાઈમ આપીએ લાઈક ધી 1/4 માઇક્રોસેકન્ડ કે 1/3 મિલીસેકન્ડ, બટ એટલા ટાઈમ સ્લોટ ને કમ્બાઈન થઈને પણ we can say that it will create a more time in the network. Okay, so the output time slot માટે if they are empty, there is no need to provide the output time slot. So based on this principle, we have the second method, that is the statistical TDM. Okay, so in case of the synchronous TDM, each input has a reserved slot in the output frame. So this can be inefficient if some input lines have no data to send. So in case of the statistical TDM, slots are dynamically allocated to improve the bandwidth efficiency. Okay, so in statistical multiplexing, the number of slots in each frame is less than the number of input lines. Okay, so it may possible that if one of the input time slot is empty, then there is no need to allocate that slot in the frame. So slot કઈ રીતે allocated થાય, so we can see here that તમે operating system માં જે ભણ્યા છો round robin method. Okay, using those round robin manner, you can allocate this slot dynamically in the output frame. Okay, so પહેલું આવે પછી બીજા માટે કઈ નથી, તો એના માટે allocate કરવાની જરૂર નથી, directly second અને third. Second frame માટે only we have the two time slot, it is first and third, first and fourth, like that. Okay. So the multiplexer checks the each input line in round robin fashion. It allocates a slot for an input line if the line has data to send. Otherwise, it skips the line and checks the next line. Okay, so જે આપણો મલ્ટીપ્લેક્સર છે તે 1 by 1 સ્લોટ ને ચેક કરશે. જો ઇનપુટ ટાઈમ સ્લોટમાં ડેટા હશે તો એ ફ્રેમમાં મૂકશે, જો નહીં હશે તો એને નહીં મૂકે. ઓકે, તો અહીંયા ફ્રેમ ક્રિએટ કરીએ તો એમાં આપણા ખાલી 3 જ સ્લોટ આવશે, ખાલી ફર્સ્ટ, થર્ડ એન્ડ ફોર્થ, લાઈક ધેટ. ઓકે, સો here we have this TDM slot comparison. For example, we have the 1 2 3 4 5 lines, so we can say the 5 connections are there. Okay, એમાં જે પહેલી લાઈન છે એમાં ખાલી પહેલા ટાઈમ સ્લોટમાં ડેટા છે, બીજામાં નથી. બીજી લાઈનમાં બંને સ્લોટમાં છે, ત્રીજી લાઈનમાં એક પણ સ્લોટમાં નથી, ચોથી લાઈન ડી માં બંને સ્લોટમાં છે અને પાંચમી લાઈનમાં પહેલા સ્લોટમાં નથી. Same way for we are using the second multiplexer. Okay, this is the comparison, so same things are there. Okay, so one is synchronous TDM and this one is the statistical TDM. Okay, now what happens with synchronous TDM? Okay, આપણે ક્રિએટ કરીએ તો સપોઝ આપણા 5 કનેક્શન છે, તો the size of the frame in the frame consists of the 5 output time units. Okay, so A1 B1 C1 D1 and E1, but here we see that C1 માટે આપણી પાસે કંઈ ડેટા નથી, તો પણ આપણે એના માટે slot allocate કરવા પડશે. The reason is we are following the synchronous TDM. Okay, so A1 B1 then empty, then D1 and then empty. Okay. Same way for second frame, પહેલા empty, પછી B2, પછી ફરી પાછું empty, પછી D2 અને E2. Okay, so but if we are following the statistical TDM, then this channel we can say this multiplexer checks the all the input slot one by one, that is round robin manner. So A1 B1 and finally we have the D1. Okay, then we have the B2 D2 and E2, like that. Okay, so we have the B2 and D2 and E2. Okay. Now if you are following the statistical TDM, then it will create one problem. Okay, અહીંયા તો આપણી ફ્રેમમાં 5 સ્લોટ આપણે ક્રિએટ કર્યા છે. હવે આઉટપુટ સાઇડ પહોંચે આ ડેટા, at that time we can easily distinguish between this different channel. કે આમાંથી જે પહેલા સ્લોટનો ડેટા છે તે A માટે છે, બીજાનો B માટે છે, ત્રીજાનો C માટે, ચોથાનો D માટે અને પાંચમાનો E માટે. Same way for the second frame. Okay, but here અહીંયા there is a one problem કે ચોથા ત્રીજા માટે કંઈ allocate આપણે નથી કર્યું. We have directly allocated this slot for this D1, so A1 B1 and D1. Okay, so for such type of to solve this problem, what we are doing this, the thing we have to do is with each output time slot we have to add one address. We have to add one address, or we can say we have to add one identification, that channel 1 એના માટે identification છે આપણું A, B માટે આઇડેન્ટિફિકેશન હશે સ્મોલ b, C નું હશે સ્મોલ c, D નું સ્મોલ d અને E નું સ્મોલ e. ઓકે, સો અહીંયા A1 એના પછી આ ડેટા આપણને ક્યાંથી આવ્યો હોય ખબર પડે એના માટે સ્મોલ a. ઓકે, B1 નો ડેટા આવ્યો છે આપણો B પરથી, D1 નો ડેટા આવ્યો છે આપણો D પરથી. So these are used to find out at the receiving side જ્યારે આપણે these two things are fetched. તો જે પહેલો ડેટા છે that will be given to the line number A. Okay, second નો ડેટા that is given to the line number B અને આ ત્રીજો ડેટા પ્રોવાઈડ થશે લાઈન નંબર D ને. Same way for this one, okay, B2, D2 and E2. So for also we are adding the address B2 line B નો address, line D નો address and line E નો address. Okay, so B નો ડેટા assign જશે B ને, okay, D નો ડેટા assign જશે D ને અને finally E ને. Okay, so this problem can be solved like dynamically allocate karta hoy, then there is a problem at the receiving side. So this problem can be solved by using this addressing manner. But one disadvantage is rather than sending the original data, we need to add one extra field. So there is a chance of the overhead. Okay, so that's why in the real time the statistical TDMs are synchronous TDMs are going to be followed. So
हेलो सर.
हाँ बोलो
सर वो सिंक्रोनाइज टीडीएम से समझाए ना, मेरा नेट चला गया होगा.
ओके, सिंक्रोनस टीडीएम में सपोज આપણી આ ઓકે કેટલી 5 લાઈન છે, 5 ચેનલ છે. ઓકે, તો બધી લાઈન માંથી સપોઝ 5 લાઈન આપણી ડિવાઈડ થઈ છે, ડિવાઈડ થઈ છે આપણી 5 ઇનપુટ ટાઈમ સ્લોટમાં. ઓકે, તો A1 B1 C1 D1 અને E1, A2 B2 C2 D2 અને E2. ઓકે, now line C કઈ નથી મોકલતું, તો C1 અને C2 સ્લોટ્સ આર એમ્પ્ટી. ઓકે, લાઈન E માં પહેલા સ્લોટ પર આપણે કઈ નથી મોકલતા, સો E1 is empty. ઓકે, અને અહીંયા બીજા સ્લોટમાં કઈ નથી મોકલતા, તો A2 is empty. Now synchronous TDM માં શું થાય, we are creating the frame. આપણે ફ્રેમ ક્રિએટ કરીએ છીએ. ઓકે, સો if we are creating the frame, તો ફ્રેમમાં આપણે શું મૂકીએ છીએ, તો બધા લાઈન પરનો એક એક ટાઈમ સ્લોટ. ઓકે, સો here we have the first time slot, first output time slot for A1, the second slot is for B1, third one is for C1, ચોથો હશે આપણો D1 માટે, પાંચમો હશે આપણો E1 માટે. ઓકે, સેમ વે સેકન્ડ ફ્રેમમાં પહેલો સ્લોટ છે એમાં આપણે કઈ નથી મોકલાવતા, તો પણ એને એલોકેટ કરવા પડશે. રીઝન ઇઝ વી આર ફોલોઈંગ ધી સિંક્રોનસ TDM. સો આપણે કઈ નહીં મોકલતા હોય તો પણ એના માટે આપણે ટાઈમ સ્લોટ એલોકેટ કરવા પડે ફ્રેમમાં. ધેટ ઇઝ ધી ડિસએડવાન્ટેજ ઓફ સિંક્રોનસ TDM. સો અહીંયા A2 માટે એલોકેટ કર્યું છે આપણે, B2 માટે A2 એ કઈ નથી મોકલ્યું તો A2 નો સ્લોટ આપણો એમ્પ્ટી છે. B2 મોકલે છે તો B2 નો ફિલ છે. C2 કઈ નથી મોકલતું તો C2 નો એમ્પ્ટી છે. તો D2 અને E2 કઈ મોકલે છે તો D2 અને E2 નો સ્લોટ ફિલ છે. ઓકે, so this is the problem with this synchronous TDM that ઘણીવાર કોઈ ડિવાઇસ ડેટા ના મોકલવું હોય તો પણ એના માટે આપણે સ્લોટ એલોકેટ કરવા પડે ફ્રેમની અંદર. Okay, so to remove that problem we have the statistical TDM in which the frames, or we can say that the frames are created in the dynamic manner in which the multiplexer check the every lines અને જે લાઈને ડેટા મોકલવો હોય તેની પાસેથી જે ડેટા લેશે, બાકીની જે લાઈને ડેટા ના મોકલવો હોય એની પાસેથી ડેટા નહીં લેશે. અહીંયા ખાલી A1 B1 અને D1 નો ડેટા આવશે આપણો ફ્રેમમાં, અહીંયા ડેટા આવશે B2 D2 અને E2 નો. So this is all about the synchronous TDM and statistical TDM. Okay, so this concept is about the multiplexing. Okay, so multiplexing means we need to divide our link or divide into link based on the various criteria. We can divide our link based on the frequency or based on the time. Okay, based on the frequency we have the two methods, that is the FDM and WDM, frequency division multiplexing, and WDM, that is the wavelength division multiplexing. Based on the time we have the TDM, that is the time division multiplexing. Okay, FDM based on the frequency we are dividing our channels, and WDM we are using the frequency, but frequencies are with the higher values. Okay, so for example, like in the radio transmission we are using the FDM, but for the optical, in the fiber optic transmission we are following the WDM. Okay, and the third one is the TDM, that is the time division multiplexing. So in the network to network communication we are following the TDM, that is the time division multiplexing. Okay, So last topic is about the transmission medium. Okay, so I think these are the things that we have learned in the 11, 12. Okay, so we just quickly go through this concept, and finally this module will be completed by today. Okay. So transmission medium मतलब આપણો જે path or medium છે જેના થ્રુ આપણો ડેટા ટ્રાન્સફર થાય છે that is known as the transmission medium. Okay, generally આપણે જો વાયરલેસની કોમ્યુનિકેશનની વાત કરીએ તો air is working as a medium. Okay, but ઘણીવાર we require the cable, or we can say we require some wired communication. At that time our wire is working as a transmission medium. Okay, so the definition of transmission medium is saying that anything that can carry information from source to destination. So it can be some wired or it can be some wireless. So the transmission medium is below the physical layers, and either the medium can be cable or it can be air. So transmission medium can be guided or unguided. Guided mean the wired communication, unguided mean the wireless communication. In the wired communication, we have the twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, and fiber optic cable. We have seen this twisted pair cable in our lab experiment. Then we have the unguided end, in which we have the different frequency, that is the radio wave, microwave, and infrared. The first one is the twisted pair cable, in which we can see that there are two conductors. Okay, there are two conductors in which one is carrying the signal while another is working as a ground. Okay, and we have the insulator that is covering this conductor. The advantage of this twisting is to remove the effect of the noise. Okay, so it may possible that finally we are calculating the difference of frequency between the one cable and the second cable. Okay, so it may possible જ્યારે આપણો નોઇઝ ની નજીકથી આપણો કેબલ પાસ થતો હોય તો one twist is nearer અને બીજી twist એનાથી દૂર હશે. કોઈ નોઇઝ નો સોર્સ છે, સપોઝ મોટર છે, કોઈ બીજો ઇલેક્ટ્રિક કેબલ છે, તેની પાસેથી જો આપણો કેબલ પાસ થતો હોય તો એડવાન્ટેજ ઓફ ટ્વિસ્ટિંગ ઇઝ એક ટ્વિસ્ટ આપણી નજીક હશે, બીજી ટ્વિસ્ટ આપણી દૂર હશે. તો એક ટ્વિસ્ટના લીધે જે ઇફેક્ટ થાય એ બીજી ટ્વિસ્ટ એને રિમૂવ કરી દે. ઓકે, સેમ વે એક ટ્વિસ્ટથી જે કંઈ ઇફેક્ટ થઈ હોય તે બીજી ટ્વિસ્ટ એને રિમૂવ કરી દે. તો ફાઇનલી જ્યારે આપણે રિસીવિંગ સાઇડ એનું ડિફરન્સ ફાઇન્ડ કરીએ, the effect of noise are going to be reduced or removed. Okay, the advantage of, so we can say that this twisting, the number of twists per inches, it is also has effect. Okay, so કેટલું twist કરીએ એના પર પણ આપણો noise કેટલો effect કરે. Okay, so that is dependent on the number of twists. And so this is all about the twisting pair cable. It can be two types, UTP and STP. UTP means unshielded twisted pair and STP means shielded twisted pair. Okay. So we have seen the UTP cable in our experiment. Okay, so in which there are the two wire, and this both wire are covered with this plastic cover. Okay, so આપણે જે જોયેલો twisted pair cable એમાં total કેટલી ચાર પેર હતી. Okay, so ચારે ચાર પેર all are covered with this plastic cover, while IBM has developed this STP, that is shielded twisted pair. To remove the effect of the noise, they have used this metal shield that is covering these inside cables. Okay, the various categories of, there is no need to remember these things, but the various categories of unshielded twisted pair cables are Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, Cat 4, Cat 5, Cat 5E, 6 and 7. બંનેના અલગ અલગ યુઝ છે. તો એનો યુઝ છે અને એમાં અલગ અલગ સ્પીડ આવે છે. જો લાઈક Cat 1 છે, that is majorly used in telephone line, in which the speed is less than 0.1. Cat 2, we have the 2 Mbps speed, that is majorly used for the T1 lines. Cat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, these all are used in the LAN. Okay, in the Cat 2, in the Cat 3, category 3, we can got a speed up to 10 Mbps. Cat 4 માં આવે આપણી 20 Mbps, 100 Mbps, 125 Mbps. Okay, so majorly in our traditional Ethernet, we are using this Cat 3 cable, in which we can get a speed up to 10 Mbps. UTP connector, that we have seen that RJ45 connector. Okay, so this connector we have learned in our experiment RJ45. Okay, so they that are installed at the end of the cable, and these are used to fetch the data from the network. Application in the telephone lines to provide the voice and data channels. Okay, so previously the telephone, the local નેટવર્ક હતા આપણા ટેલિફોન વાળા એમાં they are using the twisted pair cable. અત્યારે જે લોકલ એરિયા નેટવર્ક છે 10 base T in which we have the speed up to 10 Mbps, 100 base T in which we can go to speed up to 100 Mbps in which we are using the twisted pair cables. We have one graph. There is no need to remember this graph, but we can see one result that is the graph of frequency versus attenuation. Attenuation means loss of energy. You can see here that after the 1000 hertz, okay, after the 1000 hertz, there is a huge attenuation. Okay, so we can see there that જેમ our frequency વધતી જાય તેમ આપણું attenuation વધતું જાય. So we have the different cable like a twisted pair cable with the 18 gauge or 22 gauge or 24 gauge or 26 gauge, but બધા ગેજમાં after the 1000 kilohertz, okay, after the 1000 kilohertz there is a sudden increase in the attenuation. So for that we require the frequent repeaters, or we can say the frequent repeaters to again regenerate the signals. Then we have the coaxial cable. So coaxial cable આપણે જે ટીવીમાં યુઝ કરીએ છીએ that is known as the coaxial cable, in which it is consist of the inner conductor and the outer conductor. So the inner conductor is used to carry the signal while the outer conductor work as a ground, and to differentiate between that we have the insulator. Okay, and finally these all things are covered with the plastic covers. So different categories of coaxial cable are RG59, RG58, RG11. Okay, so RG59s are used in the cable TV. The thin Ethernet we are using the RG58. The thick Ethernet we are using the RG11. Different connectors, that is the BNC connector. પેલામાં RJ45 connector હતા, coaxial cable માં use થાય આપણા BNC connector. So here we have the BNC connector. આપણે જે ટીવી માં જે insert કરીએ that is our BNC connector. The cable જે કે ટીવી કેબલ માટે that is used થાય, that is the BNC connector. BNCT. Okay, so આપણા નેટવર્ક ની અંદર બે ડિવાઇસ ને એક ડિવાઇસ ને બીજા ડિવાઇસ સાથે કનેક્ટ કરવા માટે we can use the BNCT. And we have the BNC terminator, so that can work as a ground wire. So if we want to stop the reflection of the signal, then we require the BNC terminator at the end of the cable. Okay, so that can stop the reflection, and it can provide you the intended results. The graph of frequency versus attenuation. So also you can see here that after 10 to 100 kilohertz, after 10 to 100 megahertz, nearer to 100 megahertz, there is a huge attenuation also for the coaxial cable. Okay, so we have the problem of attenuation. So after the 50 to 100 megahertz, there is a sudden increase of the attenuation. So we require the frequent repeaters also for the coaxial cables. Applications, previously it is used in the analog telephone networks, where a single coaxial cable could carry the 10,000 channels. Okay, and majorly used for the cable TV network and additional Ethernet lens. And finally we have the fiber optic cable, in which we are transmitting our data in form of the lights. Okay, so here we have the concept of this incident angle and critical angle. Incident angle आपलो critical angle करता less than or then we have the refraction, equal to then refraction, and greater than critical angle. So in the fiber optic cable we are following this third principle, that if incident angle is greater than critical angle, then we have the reflection. So okay, actually time is completed. So 10 to 12 slides are there, and that will